cool. And we can give it a few minutes. We got hot mics, so they can hear you. They can hear me. All that fun stuff. But it'll be all right. I'll, it's pretty easy. I just ask real easy questions and nothing crazy.
I mean,
just catching.
I don't want to talk. It's just that's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time. Yeah, but usually it's about. I mean, what's crazy with like, episodes of Unfiltered or episodes of Crash Out Connoisseurs is you look down and you're like, okay, I'm only 15 minutes in. And then next thing you know, you're 2 hours in. Like, it's like, oh, okay. Like, so like with Unfiltered, we're allowed to breathe a little bit and just, elaborate or keep things short and sweet, or we're just telling our favorite stories, stuff like that. So it's pretty easy.
I need a nap.
I know. I took a nap earlier.
It's like, what time is it for you?
It's almost 7.
Oh, yeah, we're at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, we're both in Central
I
Time.
wasn't sure Texas is different.
Yeah, like that's what throws off a lot of people who live in New Mexico. They're like, "Oh, you operate off Texas time," and I'm like, "Yeah, I operate off Texas time." They don't call it Central Time; they just call it Texas time.
Well, Texas is huge, so I guess that makes sense.
Texas is huge, yes. Oh man, all the times where I drive about 10 hours and I'm still in Texas.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If I drive 10 hours, I'm like almost on the side of the country.
Yeah. You're in Canada.
Stop it. Stop.
Okay. Just a few more minutes and then we'll let the chat peek behind the curtain. We don't have a live. I mean, this is, by the way, everyone, this is pre-recorded. It's because I'm busy this weekend. John's busy this weekend. So we're shooting the breeze on a Wednesday night. Okay. All right. Now we're peeking behind the curtain. There's John. I'm about to pop up here in a second. There I am. All right, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 9 of the Unfiltered podcast. I brought on a very special friend with me today. We haven't seen each other forever, but I still keep tabs on John. John, I know you keep tabs on me, but I'm here with the American. Yeah, I know you try. I'm here with the American Fury, Jon West. John, give a little bit of a introduction on yourself. I know you you're big on pro wrestling. You love comic books. You love movies. Do you like long walks on the beach too?
No, I don't like sand. So I sound like Anakin Skywalker. But I don't like sand because it gets like it's coarse. It gets into everything. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I've known you since 2006.
2006.
So yep. 20 years? Oh my goodness, 20 years, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, so
Medic.
So how John and I met, it was when I was at Iowa Central Community College. I was in the radio broadcasting program. John, what was your major when you were in Iowa Central? I couldn't remember.
Early childhood education.
There you go. Okay, cool. And we found each other through a mutual love of professional wrestling. Like I was huge into pro wrestling, and it was before like I got going on training and got involved with the Texas Panhandle, West Texas wrestling scene. But I used to remember John and I hung out all the time, and we talked wrestling, we talked sports, we talked about everything. And I do know, for a fun fact, that the that John is a huge fan of the Chicago Bears, and the Bears are actually good. It's hard to believe. Like, Caleb Williams is he's delivering the Bears to the promised land. Don't you think, John?
Why is that hard to believe?
Well, because the Bears were just, I don't know, they kind of make misses sometimes, but they didn't make a miss on Caleb Williams. Like, it's all the hype with Caleb Williams is actually paying off with the Chicago Bears. And the Bears had a great defense last year. Like, they almost had the Rams. They seriously almost had the Rams. Like, when Caleb Williams threw that touchdown pass, like, he was scrambling around and he just threw it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, the Bears are going to win this. And then, like, the Rams are like, nope, no. Like, yeah,
well,
it was heartbreaking.
That's because the Bears defense wasn't that good last year.
Yeah.
The offense was great, but the defense was a little suspect.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the Bears usually have a good defense and a bad offense, but last year flipped it.
I know. But I think they'll get better on defense. I know it. Yeah. NFC North is going to be dangerous. But along with that was the year where when we like hung out a lot. That was like when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, and that was with like Rex Grossman as quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't
Rex
remind
Grossman.
me.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I do know that the Bears struck first, and Devin Hester ran it to the house, and that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. But yeah, we got into pro wrestling quite a bit. And then you went on to have a pro wrestling career where I was in it for like a little bit. I fell over for like a little bit, and then I was not really on the outside looking in. It's just I did more support roles versus, actually falling over and doing cool moves. Like John does a really neat F5. So, yeah. But, yeah, talk about how you got into pro wrestling, and then I know you ran into Duke Cornell a few times, but you kind of operated separately because you were more so a 3XW guy, and then while Duke was all over the place. But, yeah, how'd you get in the door at 3XW? That's awesome.
Well, one of my best friends in high school, he was roommates with Chad Milan, who was Todd Countryman's cousin. So Todd Countryman runs 3XW. So one day we went to a show, and I was like, I want to train. So I talked to Steve Bealey. I said, well, I'm going to go off to college, but when I come back, I'm going to start training. So he's like, okay, well, see you then. And then I went to Central. And when I left Central, I left Central. And then I went to a show, and I signed up for training. And then, like, I trained for maybe a couple months before I had a match.
Dang.
Yeah, I trained with 3X.
Wow.
So I had my first official match on the show January 2010. So 16 years ago.
Wow. Dang! Look at you.
Yeah,
now you're the grizzled vet.
I mean, I picked it up pretty quickly, just because I was always athletic, and the moves. I mean, I did backyard wrestling too, so I kind of knew how to put matches together already. But yeah, pro wrestling is a lot different than backyard wrestling.
It is. I remember. I think almost everybody I knew, you and me included, we started with backyard wrestling, and one of my favorite memories involving John is you had a friend called Knockout Jenkins, and he was the most random guy. But he had charisma to him, just like you. Is Knockout Jenkins still doing his thing? Is he still out there?
Well, no, he's doing the same, but he doesn't wrestle. He hasn't done anything wrestling related in a long years. He never actually trained or anything. He just did the backyard stuff with us, so that was it.
Oh, I got you. But along with 3XW, did you travel around quite a bit? Like, I know you traveled with 3X. Was there any other frequent visiting spots that you liked going to?
I mean, I went to Kansas City a lot.
Okay.
I went to MECW, which was in Illinois, a lot. I mean, like my first year, I mean, my first couple of years, I traveled every, like I was literally like every weekend I was somewhere else. Even if whether it was I was wrestling there or I was just like going just to hang out. There was like one stretch where I had like 19 shows in a row, like 19 weeks in a row where I was out of town somewhere.
Dang.
Like I went to St. Louis a lot, Kansas City a lot. Like I mean, like last couple of years, before the pandemic, I was in Omaha a lot, almost every weekend.
Okay.
So yeah, I was used to travel all over the place, but yeah, when I get older, I got my dog. I don't want to go anywhere now. So
Right.
I kind of like being at home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Maverick is a source of memes, especially on the internet. And John loves to make memes of Maverick. And Maverick is a character. Like, I think one of my favorite ones is you were like, "Hey, Maverick, it's cold outside. Don't you want to come in?" And he's like, "No." Like, it's like him like over like old Steve Rogers. Yeah.
No, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will. So how'd you come up with that? How'd you come up with that one? Like that's awesome.
Well, when I was promoting my show, I was doing a lot of Photoshop, and I was like, well, if I'm doing Photoshop, I want to do some funny stuff with Maverick because I take a picture of him almost every day. So I was like, well, I'm gonna find some famous memes and put Maverick's face over it. Like I did to find Keep Your Secrets from the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I did I took the Michael Jordan. I took that personally. I think that was the first one I did.
That one's pretty good.
So I just started using his face for like a bunch of memes, and I was like, well, they're funny, so I'm gonna post them. Use them for reactions.
Yes.
So yeah, like that's when I started doing that.
That's awesome. So speaking of Maverick, how did you and Maverick basically? It's not so much like, it's a man and his dog. It's more like a man and his best friend. So like, give me the origin story of Maverick.
So one day Todd Countryman texted me. He was like, "Hey John, do you want this dog?" I was like, he looks kind of big. I don't know if I have room for him. So then I was like, okay, let me go take a look at him. So then Mark and I went to go look at him. He saw me, I saw him. He started shaking his tail, like wagging. I was like, oh yeah, that's it. He's mine. He's like, he literally ran. He ran up to me, like started slobbering everywhere, like looking at me all over. I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. So that was like July 4th weekend of 2020.
Okay.
So like the first day I had him at home. I was like, okay, well, I gotta go to work. I gotta work tomorrow, so let's see. I gotta see what I'm gonna do with him. So I put him in my spare bedroom, and I closed the door. I was like, okay, he should be fine in there. But then I didn't realize it got like 90 degrees that day.
Ooh.
So when my neighbor came over, and like they opened the door, let him outside or whatever, and put a fan in there. I was like, if he hadn't done that, Maverick story would have ended the day after I got him. So
oh no,
I would have felt real bad. So
yeah.
After that, I let him get free reign of the house. I was like, hey, if you tear anything up, I'm gonna be upset, but I understand. So the first couple of days I had him, he kind of tore some stuff up, and I was like, hey buddy, if you keep doing this, I can't give money for toys or treats because I got to pay for the stuff he tore up. And since that day, he hasn't torn it. Like, I can leave food out, he doesn't touch it. Wow. Like he doesn't get into anything. Like if something's there, he leaves it alone, and yeah, he doesn't tear up anything. He literally just he sits on the couch and looks out the window until I get home.
Oh,
until
really?
he sees me come up the street.
My goodness, that's awesome. Like, so that was just like you had a heart to heart with Maverick, and then he never I mean, there's times where he shows a little bit of, character. That's probably the easiest way I can describe it. But you just sat down, had a heart to heart with him, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm chill." Oh, that's awesome.
Well, because I had a box of T-shirts that I was selling at shows, and like he ripped them up. And I was like, Maverick, I use these shirts to make money. So if you keep tearing my shirts up, I won't be able to buy any treats until I make the money back. So then that next day, like he didn't tear anything up at all. I mean, he's like torn some stuff up since then, but it's nothing like that's important. Like it's not like a box or something.
Oh, sure.
I had like I had like a foam rubber pad, like a pad that I used to stretch out. And he like chewed that up, but other than that, he literally, like I said, he'll literally sit on the couch, look out the window until I get home, and then once I get home, he just kind of goes crazy and freaks out over it.
Maverick does Maverick things. Okay, so the T-shirt, like the "Here Comes Maverick," like was that kind of built?
Here's Maverick.
Yeah, here's Maverick. How did I mean, because of the memes and everything, it feels like people have come to really fall in love with Maverick to the point where they get T-shirts of of him. How cool is that when people like come up and they're like, I want that Here's Maverick shirt. Like how cool is that?
Either that or but I mean, I haven't sold very many of them yet, but
okay.
Whether they say that, whether it's that or it's like, oh, I love your dog. I'm like, okay, cool. So I took a picture of him when we were on a walk one day when I first got him. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like my thought was like, okay, like The Shining when Jack busts through the door.
Yeah.
Like, here's Johnny. And I was like, oh, like that's a person that's like tongues out, big smile on his face. He looks scary, but he's not scary. That'd be perfect for a t-shirt. So then I had some Boston design a logo for me. I was like, hey, can you design a logo where like it looks like Maverick's busting through the shirt? And then he did. I was like, oh, thank you. It's been great. I use it for a lot of different things now.
Right.
He's kind of his own brand at this point.
He is. He's an extension of you. So that's the cool part. Yeah. One thing I kind of always was curious about, and I know it kind of came about through the pandemic, was Black Wrestlers Matter. So to pull off like a show like that and to have it like in a place like, Des Moines and then kind of have it travel around a little bit, like it even had its own title belt, which I was like, dude, that's cool. So
it still has a title belt.
Yeah, it still exists. Like, that's awesome.
Myron Reed's the champion, but he's signed with AEW now, so we got to figure out a way to get him on the show because he's pretty busy right now.
Yeah, all booked up and everything. But how did you like? I'm sure you were able to network through your years of professional wrestling, but yeah, talk about like how you were able to put Black Wrestlers Matter together, because I'm sure like usually when you're putting together like a wrestling show, it's not just one person. It's like a village that puts together like a wrestling show. So, and then what you did, you brought in so much talent from everywhere.
Well, Black Wrestlers Matter started before the pandemic. It started like about 2016, but we didn't do our first show till 2020 because so I started doing it shortly after like the Ferguson and stuff. I was like, that's when the whole Black Lives Matter movement started. I was like, well, I didn't want to make it a political thing, but I was like, well, every time I go do a show, I'm the only Black wrestler on the entire show.
Yeah.
Like that day, like especially where we're wrestling being so, athletics and everything, like that shouldn't be the case. Because literally every show I would go to, I was the only Black wrestler on the entire show. And I was like, how is that even possible? So then I started wearing so I made the Black Wrestlers Matter shirts, and I was like, well, let's see what happens with this. So then the pandemic happened. So before the pandemic, the 3XW had a show at Franklin Junior High School. And I was like, okay, there's 4 Black wrestlers on the show. So I have shirts up here. I'll give you guys a shirt. Let's take a picture, because I don't see this very often. So then I posted that picture, and that picture went viral. Like it was me, JDX, Jack Price, and Darius Smart, Airwolf at the time. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Like this is one of the first shows I've been at where there's been more than one Black person. There was 4 of us. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. So we kind of took a picture, and I was like, let's see what. I didn't think anything of it. I was just take a picture, whatever, see what happens. And like that thing blew up. Like it went huge. And so after that, I was like, well, I sold a lot of shirts off of that, like because it was crazy. So then during the pandemic, I was talking to Chris Manning. I was like, it wouldn't be great if we could do a show. There's nobody running shows right now, and if you can find a venue, because initially we were going to run at Woolies. But Woolies was like booked up till about March. So our show was like, so this was like June of 2020. Woolies was booked till March. I'm like, oh, we got to find another venue. So then I was like, hey, 3XW just had a show. They had a show at Franklin. Let's call Franklin and see if they're available. They're like, yeah, we're available. So then so that day we went to Franklin and we took a look around. We shot like a promo video, and we announced the show. That's like for August. I think it was like August 22nd. We announced the show, and then like it was off to the races from there.
Nice, like. And like once you had that first show, once you got going, like, was there just like, I'm sure like it was like a little bit of butterflies, and then once you got going, it's like that when you start seeing people come in through the door and they're like, oh my God, like it becomes excitement. Like, so yeah, like do you remember those feelings kind of fondly, like leading up to the show, and then once the show started?
Well, see, my thing is like, the part lead up to the show is always the best part, because it's like my biggest thing is like once I announced the show and started doing all the work and everything, that to me that's the fun part. Yeah. The part that's not so fun is like making sure people actually like come to the show. That's the part that sucks. It's like because you feel like you put all the work in, work real hard, but then nobody shows up. That's kind of the thing that sucks. But luckily the first show, I mean, we sold out. We had like about we had a limit of 300, and we hit 300 people easily.
Wow.
We had about like a 1,000 live streams and whatever. It was crazy. It was probably one of the best nights of my life. And I never thought of that. Yeah, it was crazy,
that's
man.
Cool. That was really neat. And then like, didn't you have like?
I have a visitor.
Oh, Maverick, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy, Maverick? Yeah, Maverick is the goodest boy. Yeah. He's excited, man. He's excited.
He hates seeing me like not doing anything. Like if I'm not paying any attention to him, he tries to get my attention somehow. So he does that a lot.
Hey, he's licking your arm. It could be a lot worse. He could be tearing up a box.
That's true. Yeah, he likes to lick a lot. What are you looking at? but yeah, that night was probably the best, one of the best nights of my life. Because especially like it definitely was the best night of my professional life. So I don't think I'll ever replicate that again.
Well, I mean, that's such a great accomplishment. So I mean, you know, I was able to watch from afar, but man, I was proud of you. I was like, oh my gosh, like John pulled this off, and he brought in all this talent. I know it was crazy because like.
The part that was hard was because like I didn't have any connections. Like I've been wrestling for a while, but like I'm really outside of certain places. No one really knows who I am.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to try to build a name like off of whatever. And that's why luckily I had Chris Manning with me. If it wasn't for Chris Manning, the show probably wouldn't happen because he's the one he secured most of the sponsors. He used a lot of his connections to like get everything to happen. Like I mean I was a wrestler, so I can connect with other wrestlers, but as far as the business stuff, like he knew all the business stuff. I didn't really know any of that. I had to learn. Like if it wasn't for him, it probably wouldn't have happened because like he's one of the people that like talked me into doing it because I was just happy just selling T-shirts.
Yes.
So they let you sell shirts, whatever. I'll be happy selling shirts, but he's like, why not do a show? And it was like he's like all of the sponsorships he pretty much like got like we had Ray Gun, which like Ray Gun printed like 300 shirts. So everybody that went to the show had got a T-shirt. So like that's you never see that anywhere else.
No.
Where everybody that buys a ticket gets a T-shirt. So everybody has like a commemorative shirt from that show. You only got that if you were there.
That's cool. Yeah, wow. That blows my mind because I think hanging out in my closet somewhere is a Black Wrestlers Matter shirt, and then there's a Here's Maverick shirt. So I've done my supporting. I think what's really interesting, I never got to meet Chris, but from what I've seen of his work. And then just how others like really talk hot, they praise Chris. Like he's more than just a photographer. Like that guy knows his stuff, which is really awesome. So like, this is where you kind of can praise your friends a little bit. So like, how interesting is like Chris Manning because like he brings in all sorts of people from all over the place, does photo shoots, gets like their promotional photos out there. I'm sure like he's taking great promotional photos of you. Like how cool is to work with somebody that gives so much? He's
the best. He's one of those guys he'll run himself ragged to make you look good. Like he does that. I've literally seen him do that. He make himself sick just to make everybody else look good. He's probably the best photographer that I've ever seen. So especially because like being a photographer is like whatever, but like doing wrestling is a little difficult because wrestling moves so fast. Mm-hmm. It's not like football. Where football they move fast, like whatever. Wrestling, you don't know what's coming. But Manning always seems to find a way to get the perfect shot. Like no matter what it is, he knows exactly where to be at. He knows exactly like the angles to take, and yeah, he's probably the best. Especially like with his because he does more than wrestling. He does like weddings and everything else too. But like I met him through wrestling. But yeah, he's. Like I say, a lot of stuff that happens around wrestling, like no one would ever know about it because, like a lot of independent companies don't have a photographer. Mm-hmm. So if Manning's at a show, like not only are you gonna get your photos, you're gonna get your photos as soon as the show's over. I've seen him at a show where as soon as the show's over, he's on his computer uploading all the photos, right? Like so that you have those photos by the time you get home.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I know nobody works harder than that dude does. Like I've seen him firsthand, like bust his ass.
Like when yeah, that's insane because like, I think that's really impressive because as a photographer, like nowadays, like it used to be to where like you have to go, like you have to take so much film, You have to be smart when you take your photos, like, and then like you have to go into the dark room, and that's like about an hour of your time. And then now it's like, you know, if you have the right equipment and you have the know-how and you know where your shots are at, just because you know of how everything flows and you've done your homework, like, I mean, of course, like your F5, like you want to get it at the right angle. So, you know, it's not like they're not seeing your butt or the other guy's butt. So it's, you got to get it just right. And then with like pro wrestling, you got to shoot from low up high, cause you want to make guys look taller. Cause a lot of guys are, you know, they're a little short. Like I know a lot of short kings in pro wrestling.
There are wrestlers who are there are a lot of wrestlers who are shorter than you think they are.
Yeah.
You see, they're shorter than you think they would be. Like I'm not a tall guy, but I feel like a giant compared to some of these people, especially some of the people you see on TV.
Yeah.
I'm probably about 5'11", 6 feet, but I feel like a giant compared to people who are like when I was like, oh man, this guy's short or this girl's short. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's because like because when I went to Dragon Gate, it was like Mike Quackenbush was probably about the same height I was, but like guys like Rich Swann, they were tiny guys, like but Rich Swann was also pretty impressive. Like he could do a standing 450. He needed a little bit of a springboard to do it, but who like, speaking of guys that you've worked with, you know, either on the promotional side or the wrestling side, who are some people that you really enjoyed working with, and either on a continuous basis, or you worked with them before, you enjoyed them so much and you want to work with them again? So this is a multiple step question.
One of the best people I've ever worked with is rest in peace, Jason Strife. Like that dude, he was on a different level. Like there's nobody that can compare something, because he's probably the best wrestler that's come out of this area ever.
Yeah.
Like, and then like guys like Jeremy Wyatt, like I've only worked with a couple times, but Jeremy Wyatt is like one of the guys that he just makes it look effortless. Like obviously my partner Mad Dog McDowell, and like, that's my brother for life. Like I love that guy. Like we can literally like not talk to each other all day for some reason and still know exactly what we're gonna do in our match, because we have that chemistry like that. It just comes naturally. Like there's like a lot of guys like it's always nice to work with bigger people, because I'm 300 pounds, so it's kind of hard to find people who are my size so I can show off my athleticism. But like there's a couple guys, the King brothers, but in Kansas City. We work with them a bunch back in the PWP days or the NWL days.
Yeah.
And like I like them because they're bigger guys that can catch all my dives. So
nice.
I usually like guys like that. Yeah. I don't dive very often because I'm 300 pounds. Who's gonna catch me? But when there's a big guy who can catch me, I love it. Yeah. Like there's people I haven't worked with yet that I would love to work with again. Like guys like Pat Powers and like Nikki Sent, when I was with Con RT, so we were together at Magnum. We worked them a bunch of times. Like every match was different. Every match was fun. I would love to work those guys again.
Yeah.
If I got the chance.
Speaking of the late Jason Strife, I was able to, bring him down to Texas a few times, and he was phenomenal. And when he put Magnum Pro together, like when Magnum Pro was was going full throttle, like they had some killer shows. Like they were able to bring in AJ Styles. They were able to bring in, goodness gracious, they were able to bring in Joey Ryan before like he had all these issues with him. But like that Omaha area, like that place got hopping about early 2010s, and then it like started really like catching steam, and then I don't know how Omaha is now since Jason's kind of passed, but hopefully it's still growing strong. I mean, I hope Magnum
is still going very, very strong. They have shows every month. There's a group of people that run it now outside of Strife because he's not here, but
yeah,
they've been killing it. They've been killing it lately. They've been doing very good shows every month.
That's awesome. And I think it just comes down to a brand. You built the brand, and now people know what to expect. That hey, Magnum's going to have a really fun show. It's going to be worth your buck. I think one of the times I went over to Magnum Pro, and this is like deep cut Magnum Pro stuff, because this was when Davey Richards came in, and we had all the drama with Ryan Kidd, and I remember like there was a fan called the Animal Ray Hogan, and I brought him up with Duke when Duke was on, and this guy was crazy. Like he was like so into the show. He would show up with like a ski mask on. He put on the ski mask. He'd have like, mechanics gloves. So he looked like he was about ready to get in the ring, like without being, backstage. And then one of my favorite moments, there's two favorite moments involving Ray Hogan. It was all in the same show. Ray, it would be when Joey Anderson powdered out. Like he rolled out of the ring, like, cause of course he's a bad guy. And, Ray gets in his face, and of course Joey's not going to take stuff laying down. He shoves Ray out of the way, gets back in the ring. Ray took it personally, and Ray pretty much gets up on the apron, because like the old Magnum Pro ring, I mean, it was like a low, it was low ring. Like, I mean,
it was a low boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a low boy. And like, I remember he got up on the apron, and fortunately, like, security's like, Ray, you need to go sit down. And he didn't raise any fuss. He just went back to his seat, chilled out. And then during intermission, and people know who Pete Schnapps is. That's another deep cut. So there's Pete. At the time, Pete was the ring announcer, and he was like, he was Strife's best pal, one of his best pals. He was in that inner circle, and for intermission they did a arm wrestling contest between Pete and Ray. And Ray won. And Ray he was over the moon. But I can't forget when he would show up with a ski mask and a pair of mechanics gloves, and then he would take off his shirt during the middle of the show. Okay.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. But he was never he never got kicked out of a show. Like, nobody ever stomped him in or beat him up or anything. Like, he didn't step into the ring. He would just get up on the apron, and then the security would be like, all right, Ray, go take your seat.
Yeah, that's because he knew his boundaries. That's why.
He knew. Yeah, exactly. So have you dealt with any any interest? No, you never dealt with any interesting
No one's gonna pick a fight with me. Like, they could talk. I mean, mostly because I've been a babyface mostly my whole career. But like, right. no one's got in my face. No one's gonna pick up. I mean, like I said, I'm not a small dude. No one's gonna pick a fight with me.
No.
I've seen fans try to pick fights with other wrestlers, but no one's ever picked a fight with me.
Well, that's good.
Cause some people you can say, oh, I can kick his ass. No, you're not gonna put your hands on me.
No,
like, no one's even gotten close to me.
No.
Yeah.
No, unless they're giving you a hug.
No one got in my face.
That's
well,
good.
Yeah, but even when I was a heel, no one got in my face. I think most people like me, but when I was a heel, like no one got in my face. Like, no one threatened to beat me up because they knew it wasn't gonna end very well for me. I'm not saying I'm a tough guy, but like I'm a pretty big dude, so no one's gonna put their hands on me.
Yeah, that's true. But other than fans that are kind of a little over rambunctious, who are some of the most memorable fans you've seen at shows? Like, I know that there's several fans that love to follow wrestlers, or they're regulars, and you kind of like ECW Arena and the Hat Guy. Like, what are some memorable fans that always stick out to you? And you're like, okay, all right, I'm at a 3X show, or I'm at somewhere, and it's like in Des Moines or something, and that they're there and they're there.
When you think of wrestling in Iowa in general, you think of Amanda Elliott. She's at every single show. she's like, I mean, I just saw her at GCW last week, so
Okay.
she's at every show. She's like, she falls in love with the guys, and like, she's everywhere. There was a guy at Metro when I used to work at Metro Pro in Kansas City. There was a guy at every show. He always had a shopping cart with weapons and with stuff in it, like gimmicks in it. I mean, he didn't like whatever. He was loud of everything, but he was always at every show. There's another guy when I used to work at PWP. He was deaf, so he had to like communicate with his phone, and he used to always come to me like, "Oh, great match, whatever." Like, awesome, and
Oh, that's
it was
cool.
always great. Like you see some regulars that come around, but like, I mean, I don't wrestle as much as I used to,
Yeah.
but so I don't. But I still like so if I go like the Revolver when Revolver comes to Des Moines, they still say hi to me. Like I still feel like I'm part of the business, even though I'm not really that involved as much as I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They still come say hi to me, like, "Hey, John, how's it going?" Like, whatever. Even at GCW last week, I had people stop me all the time. Like, "Hey, are you John West?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." Like that always feels great when people recognize you for the work you put in.
Right. Yeah.
That always feels great.
I was gonna ask you, how was GCW last weekend?
I mean, I don't normally watch their stuff. I mean, I used to watch highlights or whatever, but I mean, it was okay. I enjoyed it. I like to see some of some of my friends were on the show. So I mean, like Justin Fowler and Leon were on the show. Leon King and Justin Fowler, Jay Fowler. So I mean, it was nice seeing them. I mean, I didn't know Fowler was going to be there. He was kind of a surprise, but I love seeing my friends. And like I tell people all the time, I can't tell you to go support wrestling if I don't do it myself. So
Right. Exactly.
I try to go there. I try to go to every show I can if I have the time.
Right. And speaking of Jay Fowler, the artist formerly known as Superfly, he's incredible. Like he went from like this little tiny luchador guy to this jacked up beefcake that can do just about everything and anything. So.
Yep. I love that guy. Like I remember when I first met him. I met him like his son was probably a couple months old, and now his sons are actually wrestling now.
Yeah, it's incredible.
His son's like 16 now. So I think I've known him since his son was like literally like a couple months old. So it's crazy to see like because even like Cuco Santiago, his son's Javi is wrestling.
Wow.
So Javier, he's wrestling. So it's just crazy to see like these second generation wrestlers that are. Wrestling for these companies. Like I had a match against Javier and Cuco. So it's crazy. Like I call Cuco my brother, so his Javier is my nephew. So it's kind of like I had a match with my family. It's just crazy to think about. Like people that they used to watch me wrestle, and I'm now wrestling against them. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Makes you feel old though.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like just like okay, all right, they've grown up with their dads being wrestlers, and now they have become the wrestlers themselves. And and the crazy part is they're only like 16, 17, so they got like they have years in front of them where like sometimes like I mean I can't fall over anymore, but and then I know that Duke recently retired, but it's kind of weird to be the grizzled veteran. Like I was sitting at Squared Circle Pro, and I was at the first show. I was working the backstage. I was working, I was helping out Rick Elsey, who's been on the show multiple times. And he's now this evil overlord of the Elsey administration after being a good guy for so long. And I sat down with Lilith Blood, and Lilith I think she was also on the first few shows, along with a few other people. And I was like, what's so crazy is like the locker room is completely changed. Like it is, everybody's really chill. Everybody's really happy to be there. There's no sticks in the mud. Like everybody all gets along. There's no drama. Not that like, well, for one, Rick would never tolerate it. And then those who kind of really keep it together, the OGs, like they don't allow drama, which is kind of nice. Like everybody's completely chill. Everybody all gets along. That's the one. And I'm like, I look over at Lil and I'm like, it feels really weird to be like one of those originals, like that's still left from like, do you feel like that sometimes where you're like, man, this is completely different from when I started, But
well, even when even when I started, like I was obviously like one of the newer guy, but
yeah,
like so one thing about me, like so after I finished training, every year after I finished, I went back and still helped with training after that. So
yeah,
I was like I kind of grew close to all the trainees. So I felt like I was more close to them than I was to people that were older than me or been in the business longer than I am. That's why I like that J. Cole song Middle Child. I
mm-hmm.
always felt like that because I'm like right in the middle. I'm not one of the OGs, but I'm also like not a rookie. So it's kind of like, because with Mark being my best friend, Mark's been wrestling longer than me. So like obviously like he's a different generation than I am. But I always connected with with the younger people more because that's just how I've always been a part of those classes that came after me.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's awesome. And to be able to, so down in Lubbock, and that's where Squared Circle Pro, Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101, that's where they're at. Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101 is kind of like a race. It's a wrestling school, and then like Phoenix, who is taking a hiatus. He took a bad bump last year, so he's taking a step back. He's being more of a full-time trainer. Phoenix is kind of like how you were. Like, he's one of the OGs, but he's around the trainees so much that he's kind of that gap. And I can't compliment Joe enough, because when he started, it was like it kind of reminded me of Jay Fowler a little bit. Like, he was in a mask, and he got a little overbooked quite a bit, and it was to the point where I was like, okay, all right, he's a little silly.
No such thing as overbooked.
Yeah.
No such thing.
Yeah, no such thing as being overbooked. He was. I would say it was like early Roman Reigns. He was booked too strong. Even though but he's gotten a lot bigger. You could tell that he works out. And then he's got a wonderful family. I've gotten to know Phoenix over the years, and from when I first dealt with him to today, he has become a completely different person. Like, he cares for his trainees. He's able to balance it. So down to earth. I think that happens with a lot of vets these days. Like, a lot of people are just salt of the earth. Hey, we put on our pants one leg at a time. I felt that same way with Duke, and then of course you. Whenever we can reconnect, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, and I was like, yeah, to see you, see you be this, like, this young man who takes it a little too seriously to be this like really stand-up guy. It's awesome to see.
Well, I think a lot of people, like, when they first start, they think, oh, I'm gonna go to WWE, I'm gonna go to whatever. But once you get into it, you're like, okay, that path may not work out for me, but I just got to enjoy my time here. Because I feel like a lot of people take it too seriously when they start, because they think, oh, I got to be serious so I can get on TV. Like, just enjoy yourself. Like, if you enjoy yourself and like build your brand, you never know what can happen. Like, I know people that like say, my champion right now is in AEW. So like, he worked hard. Like, I mean, like, say a lot of, I know when I first started wrestling, I never thought, oh, I'm gonna go to WWE. I always thought, I want to be like, okay, I don't want to live life without what we're like, okay, I should have did this, I should have did that. I was just like, I want to train. Like, I want to train. If I have one match, I'm successful.
Yeah.
I looked at it that way. But like, it worked out that I've been doing it for 16 years. But like, if I was just trained to have one match and I would have stopped, I would have been fine. My life would have been complete.
Yeah.
Because I know people who say, oh, I want to wrestle, but they never start training. Like, when I started training, I didn't even have a job. I was like, I had to borrow money to pay for training because I just wanted to do it that bad. I was like, I want to wrestle. So I wasn't going to make any excuse about, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. I was at training there. I show up to training every week. I was there. I stayed as long as they needed me. Like, there was one day where I got to train early in the morning, and then there was a show that night. So I got there about 7, whatever, 8 o'clock in the morning, helped set up everything, trained all day. Everybody else left. I stayed there, I stayed afterwards and like got more training in. And then we had the show, tore stuff down. And yeah, I loved it. Like, I didn't complain. I love doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think I think as much as like people love the physicality, it's kind of the camaraderie that comes with it too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, you get to know like other people, and there's there's other people that love wrestling just as much as you do. Otherwise they wouldn't be in it. And I think that's what's interesting is like, yeah, people talk shop a little bit, but they can talk about other things. But wrestling is that glue that kind of keeps everybody together, which is really neat. Like when you go into a show, like, I remember, old Adrenaline Pro. I don't know if you ever wrestled Adrenaline Pro.
Yeah.
But,
I wrestled there a bunch. Yeah.
But and Jeremy was fantastic. I love Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Yeah, I love him.
I'll still talk to him every now and then. I kind of need to reconnect with him. But whenever I was in Des Moines, I know I always reached out to you, and then I always reached out to Jeremy just to see what Jeremy's been up to. I think Craig talks to everybody a little bit more than I do, and then for those uninitiated,
Jeremy does radio. He does radio in town.
Yeah, he does.
He's been doing that for a while. He's doing very successful with that. Very successful with that.
Yeah. It's
I know those APW shows are great because it's like small town Milo.
Oh,
you may get 20 people, you may get 2, but you don't care. You just go out there and do your thing. That was a great show for like if you're a young guy, you want to get in front of a crowd. Jeremy was always he was always a component of like having the younger guys get in front of a crowd because when you're training and there's nobody there, you can't really get any better because if you screw up in training, you can start over. But if you screw up in front of a live crowd, you got to adjust. So that's what those APW shows are great because, especially the guy that started out. I mean, granted, 3XW has shows all the time, but like it's like that was a good way to get my reps in because you don't like the only way to get better at wrestling is by wrestling. Like football, you can go to practice, you can do all this and that. Yeah. But wrestling, you have to actually wrestle to get better at it. So I always love Jeremy for putting me on those early shows because he didn't have to do that. He did it because he saw something in me. So I always love him for that.
Yeah, that was cool. And those APW shows, it was relaxed. Like I think that was the best word for it. It was more relaxed. There wasn't so many high stakes or big pressure to be like, oh man, what if I mess up? Like it was just a great place to like learn. I think but Milo is just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But the cool thing with the show was like it was in downtown Milo, so you can never get lost. It was too good. Sure. So, but
right on. I think it was right on Main Street. So yeah, it was like like an old Western town. It was like one road. Everything's on that one road.
Yeah. Yep. And I remember like after Milo, I think we would go to like Indianola to go eat afterwards, if I remember correctly.
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Possibly. I'm not sure. Like, because I remember driving home after the whole three show shot back in 2010. And that was the whole Davey Richards thing, and that was interesting. And then for the wrestling world to talk about it a little bit. But it was just such a blip, and it was like, all right, everybody moved on. Yeah, we're like,
some people didn't, but yeah, I don't know where I was at for the APW show, but I was at the 3XW show.
Yeah,
I don't think I was there for Magnum or because like I don't remember being there for Magnum or APW, so I don't know where I was. I must have been booked somewhere else because. Yeah, like the whole Ryan Kidd incident. I'm not saying I'm a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy. I'm saying that, but I don't know. I've never been on a show where someone took liberties like that. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm very protective of the boys.
Yes.
And girls.
Oh yeah, like and you have to be. Like, because I mean, it's kind of like brothers and sisters from other mothers and other misters. It's the shared experience where you guys develop that camaraderie, and then it's like, hey, I got to do what I can to protect, my friend or my colleague or my coworker. And then it's
especially because he was an outsider that came into the show, so like it's different if it's like somebody doing it, but like this dude's from somewhere else, you can come in and do that. Yeah, that's crazy. Like I'm way more confident in whatever than I was back then, but like like back then, who knows what I would have done, but like now I know that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Because I'm older, I'm wiser. Like I feel like I have like kind of nothing to lose. Like, 'cause like I said, if I didn't get booked anymore, it's not gonna like I'm not gonna be sad. I mean, I'm not gonna be sad.
Yeah.
But like say, I mean, I have life outside of wrestling. But like back then, like wrestling was all I did. Like I tell people all the time, like wrestling is what I do, not who I am. So like back then it wasn't like that. Back then, like I wanted to wrestle as much as I could. Now I'm like I have a life outside of wrestling. Like wrestling goes away, I still have my life. My life's still here. My life doesn't revolve. I love wrestling, but my life doesn't revolve around wrestling like it used to.
Right.
I would love to still be booked everywhere, but if I'm not booked, then I don't take it personal. I just kind of go, okay, well, if I just go to work then, and spend time with my dog.
Right.
But yeah, but back then it wasn't like that. So to see someone, if I saw someone now trying to do that, yeah, I'm gonna say something because like I just back then I don't know, but now I know nowadays I would.
Yeah.
On my shows that's never gonna happen. Like my shows, like it's like we always say it's like a family reunion, like it was a cookout because everybody's like joking around, like we known each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the people that were on my shows didn't really know who I was because I brought people in from everywhere. So like they probably heard of me, but they didn't really know me. So like once they came to my show, it was like a family environment. Like we were all like brothers and sisters and cousins and long lost cousins and. Yeah, it was like I say we say it was like the cookout because we're all just family hanging out with each other and making jokes and like it was great. I love shows like that.
Yeah, I do too because it relaxes everything, and everybody knows, hey, this is a great spot to be. That's kind of like what I get like. That's what Sports Circle Pro is kind of like. Like, if you go backstage, it's kind of like a cookout. It's like everybody is, because it's been so consistent with the roster. And, like, when everybody gets together, it's just, regardless of whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, like, there's no drama. There's no problems. If there was some sort of miscommunication or something like that, hey, it's all sorted out, very civilly. But these guys have worked.
I'm not sure if you're watching AEW now, but there's less than an hour. There's already blood.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not sure if you're watching it now, but there's already blood. Less than an hour in. So.
Less than an hour in, there's already blood. Oh my gosh! What are we doing?
Yeah. So it's Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe. So okay. It's like they're both bust up, and Tommaso has like a knee pad full of thumbtacks. So.
Gosh.
I love wrestling, but this kind of wrestling is it's not really it's not my thing.
Right.
I mean, I deathmatch wrestling, like all that stuff, it's all the blood. If I was a parent, I wouldn't take my kid to. I couldn't.
Right.
But see all that. I mean, granted, they see worse things on the internet, but yeah, I just all that blood. I just can't. I don't like it. What are you looking at, dude? What do you want to fight? What?
By the way, he's just talking to Maverick.
He's just staring. He's just staring at me like he wants to fight. He's back up here again now.
Maverick! What are you doing, dude?
Look at Tyler. Come here. Look at Tyler. You see him?
Maverick!
Why you keep stopping
Maverick!
He hates me ignoring him.
Oh. Well, he can be involved in the show if he likes. So, I mean, we let Sumo Dog be involved. So,
he doesn't give me a choice. What?
He's like,
he might bark at me soon if I don't pay attention to him.
He's probably like, who are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to? Who is this guy on the phone? Like,
I'm gonna go walk in the back. I'm gonna grab him a treat.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm gonna. I mean, I'm still gonna be with this.
Yeah. That's all right. But no, like it's just a man and his dog just enjoying wrestling on a Wednesday night.
I can't imagine life without him. Like, there's only been like maybe 2 days in 6 years that I was home without him because there was one time I went to Chicago the 2 times I went to Chicago for my shows.
Yeah,
I had my one of my old coworkers, like, she took him to his house, to her house. So then I came back that night and he wasn't here. And I was like, my house just felt so empty. And that happened twice. Like, I never want to have that happen again.
No, like, he's become your best friend. Like, that's what's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tommaso Ciampa, did I ever tell you the story of where we met him at Dragon Gate? Okay, so I was training at the time, and I was with Rex Reed, and I was with Violent V, and all three of us decided we're going to try to get up to Dragon Gate, and Rex was going to try to get on the show. There was another wrestler, Chad Thomas. He's now in the military. Like, he's no longer wrestling. He flew into Philadelphia. Like, he could afford a plane ticket where we just took a rental car. We drove from like Amarillo to Philadelphia. And I've told this story a few times. Chad and Rex were like, everybody was all doing chain wrestling, which was kind of weird. Like, cause you want to, it's a tryout match. So you want to do big moves and everything. So Rex and Chad were like, everybody's, they're putting 2 and 2 together. They're like, yeah, like everybody's doing chain wrestling. Why don't we just do big moves? Like, just big moves. Like, let's just wow the guys. And then all around are like the Dragon Gate USA guys, like all the Japanese guys. Gabe Sapolsky's kind of running around. And once Chad and Rex get in the ring, like they're starting to do big moves. And they're the Japanese guys, they're popping. Like they're going nuts. Cause like it's this big 350 pound guy doing all these big moves with a 250 pound guy. And then he does a move kind of like Tommaso. Like, I don't know if Tommaso Ciampa does it anymore, but it's like a power bomb into a lung blower. And I mean, of course those guys pop, and Shingo is included. And Shingo knew Rex because they worked together in shows in San Antonio. And I think Rex and I talk about it when I had Rex on. One of the coolest moments I ever saw was Gabe was initially going to pick out this tag team. He was like, I'm going to take this tag team. I'm going to pick this guy named Scott Reed, who I never even heard from since. And I think there was another gentleman, and the Japanese guys, they overruled. They were like, no, we want Rex. And they were all chanting for Rex while he's in the ring. And Rex got on the show, and guess who he teamed up with? Tommaso Ciampa against Cheech and Cloudy in the pre-show. And what's crazy is during that match, and I tell, like, Rex got out of a fight like the week before. Like, there was a little bit of a scuffle. So he kind of looked like a deathmatch wrestler. So, like, I'm sitting in the crowd, and I'm surrounded by all these Philly fans. And these Philly fans, they know their stuff. And they're like, who's that guy? Like, he looks like a deathmatch wrestler. I'm like, yeah, that's Rex Reed. He's from Texas. And they all started chanting for Rex, which that was pretty cool to have the ECW arena chant for Rex Reed. He said that was one of the coolest experiences he ever had. And Tommaso got knocked out during the match with Cheech and Cloudy. They were doing these like sentons into the corner, and one kind of hit just right, and kind of like it was where Tommaso with Tommaso, it was like the lights were on but nobody was home, and they were able to finish up the match. And then Tommaso comes to in the back, and he kind of starts freaking out. He's like, whoa, where am I? And Rex is like, relax, we're backstage, the match is over. Like, and he was like, oh, okay. Like, he started calming down and everything. And to see Tommaso Ciampa like do all the things he's done now it's incredible. Even if it's like, putting thumbtacks into a knee pad or whatever, and having a death match with Mark Briscoe. So
I've only been on one. I think I've been on one show where someone got knocked out. It was the Regal Twins. I don't know if you remember them or not. They were like the St. Louis, Kansas City area. They were wrestling Jaden. Was it Jaden Dragos? Jaden and somebody else. And they did a crossbody. Wow. So they did it. They one of them hit a crossbody, but it was still too high, so it landed on top of him, and he was out. And I was like, oh, I've really never been a part of this before. What do I do? So I'm kind of just like, make sure everybody's okay. But I think this might be the only show where someone got like knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean, that I actually saw. Because I'm sure there's probably been people who been knocked out before that I didn't know about, but
Right.
that might have been the only show where it's like somebody got knocked out, and I was like, oh man, that's kind of scary. I was at a show once for a 3X show where a guy had a seizure in the front row, and I was like, "Oh, my match is next." Now, well, because it was a match before mine, so the match before mine, I had a seizure. I go, now I got to try to come out and get the crowd going, and I mean, luckily we pulled it off. Like, because I mean, I'm usually pretty charismatic when I come out, but like it was, I was like, man, it's like a life or death situation. We have to like wait for the ambulance and everything, and like it was probably about a 20 to 30 minute like wait between matches because the guy we had to make sure the guy was okay. I was like, that's a scary moment because he was there with a young kid. Mm-hmm. Like the kid's kind of like, okay, I don't know what the kid doesn't really know what's going on because like there's an ambulance coming. Like their adult is kind of could possibly die. So it was a scary thing. But like I said, the show goes on and like luckily I came out and got the crowd going and continued the show. But it was there's been a couple scary moments like that's happened in a couple shows I've been on.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of when what was it? That referee had that seizure.
Oh yeah, that was terrible for everyone. That was terrible all around.
Yeah, but luckily the ref, like he was a true professional about it. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm okay. Like, whatever happened, like I forgive everyone. It's no problem." Like he handled that well.
He kind of has to say that though, because like you can't because everybody else online was already like shitting on the guys, but the ref kind of because like I mean what they did was pretty bad. Like you move a guy out of the way just to finish your spot. Yeah, you don't do that. Yeah. Like, you don't do stuff like that. You just if you see like because you could obviously tell the guy was going through he was going because that was more than just selling. He was convulsing. So that was bad. That was a bad look because wrestling already gets like a little stigma for whatever being how it is, but like when something like that happens, it just makes it look worse.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of referees, we're so quick to like be like, hey, we want to talk to the wrestlers, we want to, I think the unsung heroes in a lot of shows are actually the referees. Mm-hmm. So how important are having especially a good referee to to officiate your match and to help you guys along, especially on time, and then when to take things home? Like, how important is that?
They always say if you have a good referee, you never notice a referee at all. If your referee's good, you don't even know he's there. But a bad referee can they're getting in the way and it's bad. But like to me, I've worked with like Jeremy Robinson, a very good referee. We have Brett Miller is a very good referee for 3X. Yeah, I'll work with a lot of good referees in my day. So I mean, I have worked with some bad ones before, but a bad referee can make a very good match look terrible. Mm-hmm. But a good referee can make an average match look fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, they're also part of the ring. They set the ring up. They're part of the ring crew. Like they do a lot of different things that no one ever talks about. That's why, I'm one of those guys. Like I'm a vet, but I'm one of those guys that I respect. Like the janitor, the referee, like everybody who's involved in the show. I shake their hand, like thank you, because without them, the show doesn't happen. Because anybody can wrestle, like referee, like all this other stuff, like that's the hard part. That's why I've always respected those guys that do that stuff. Because usually, like 9 times out of 10, I'm right along. Like no matter how long I've been wrestling, I'm right along with them. I'm setting the ring up with them, setting everything. I'm doing all this stuff with them because like I know how it is. Like I'm getting to the venue 12 hours before the show. Well, not 12 hours, but still early, like 8 hours before the show to help set up because they're there. Stuff like that. It's like I've been doing that for most of my career. So and that's the thing. I love doing it. I used to always message Mark like, hey Mark, what time we get to the show? 1 o'clock. All right, the show's at 8 or 7. I'll be there. 11 o'clock, I'll be there. I'm always like that. I've always been that way. Even when I work overnights, I get to the venue about like 11, 12 o'clock. I help set up, get everything ready, rush through my match, and then I have to go to work at 10 o'clock that night. So it's just that's because I love doing it. Like I didn't complain. I don't complain about it. I love stuff like that. Like I love getting to venues early, like going through running through people's music and everything. Like people finally showing up like whatever time they get there. Like, hey, look at this nice cool video that Mark made for you. It's gonna look awesome. Like stuff like that. I love it. That's why I think like when I did my own show, I think it was easier for me because I already had like I watched Mark do so much stuff behind the scenes. I've seen him do production. I've seen him put videos together. I've seen how things get set up. So I think like we can literally take a small space and to transform it to like a big looking venue because we use your creativity. Because I've seen Mark do that for 15, 16 years.
Wow.
So that's why I say like when I did my show, like he was also a huge part of that happening because without him, like I used 3XW's ring. I used it like to pop the interest and everything. Like without 3XW, without them, like my show doesn't happen at all because they supported me from day one. There was never a question about would they support me, especially if I'm doing a show in the last building they ran in. Most promoters will be like, oh, you can't do that. They're like, oh yeah, we're all for it. Go ahead, you know. And one thing I do, if I'm gonna do a show in a city that I don't live in, I always reach out to to promoters in that city. Hey, I know you normally run this building. Would you be okay if I ran a show here? I always reach out to other promoters about running because if I'm going to build your town,
Yeah,
I'm going to make sure like I'm gonna try to partner up with you, or I'm gonna try to get your champion or whoever somebody from your show on my show.
yeah,
Because I want to have you all represented because I'm in your city. I'm a visitor here. Even though I'm from Chicago, like I haven't lived there for a while. So if I'm doing a show in Chicago, I'm like, hey, you guys run here. You guys are here in the city. Would you want to be a part of the show somehow? Whether it be a sponsor or be or whatever, you're a champion on my show or whatever. I always make it a point to reach out to like the local promotions or even like local charities to see if you guys want to be a part of the show. I'm bringing a show here. If you guys want to be a part of it, let me know and I'll get you make sure you represent it.
yeah.
That's I feel like it's a respectful thing to do.
Collaboration, you can't beat it. And also it kind of gives a little bit of I think it's like an extension of goodwill where it's like, hey, hey, we're new in your town, we're running this for the first time. You guys have been around. Hey, why don't you let's do like a little bit of a talent exchange, and then that opens up the door for especially the wrestlers, like just opens up doors, which is really nice.
Well, even if the company that I reach out to doesn't have a big following, and I do, I still like, hey, like I still give them the courtesy to reach out, like, hey, I'm doing a show here. I know whatever. This would be a good opportunity for both of us to whatever. Because even if they don't have a big following, they still have a following. So it's like if you have 100 people at your show, that's 100 people that can come to my show and check it out. So I mean, I look at even if you have 5 people, that's still 5 people that never heard of me before. That maybe they want to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, I always make sure I reach out to other people. I mean, some people don't get back to me, which I mean, it's whatever. I know wrestling has a lot of egos involved, but I always try to make a point to reach out to people. Like, hey, I'm going to be running the show here. If you know of like if you know of a venue that I can use, let me know and I'll give you a sponsorship credit or whatever, like anything like that.
Sure, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't just go, hey, I'm running it here. I don't care. Like. I know some promoters are like they do like to be a little stingy with their location or with their resources, but I'm like I don't. I don't have any connections. All my shows I start from scratch and like try to I've been wrestling for a while, but like I said, I don't know any. I don't have any big money backers. I don't have any like WWE or AEW connections. I kind of just hopefully they've heard of my brand before and they want to be a part of it. I'm not some millionaire, but
no.
I'm not some billionaire. I'm just a guy that works a full-time job and trying to put on a wrestling show. So,
right.
Yeah. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I don't even do it for me. I don't even want to be on my own shows. I do it for other people. Like if I do a show in a city, let's say Chicago. There are a lot of guys in Chicago who don't get the opportunity to be on big shows because no one knows who they are. Mm-hmm. So my job is like, okay, I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna use my platform to try to get you as big of a push as I can. If I put you on my show and like let's say 50, 60 people see you that they never seen you before, my job is done. Like I know I did what I could.
Yep.
So it's never about I want to make money. It's never about like I want to do this. It's just all about I want to give people an opportunity because I'm in a position to where I can kind of do that for other people. Like let me give you this chance, opportunity to be in front of a big crowd. Like that's kind of what I want to do.
Right. So I'm gonna kind of pivot this a little bit. So we're going to kind of go from wrestling to talking about maybe movies, comics. You're mostly a Marvel guy, aren't you?
Mostly, yeah, but like that's because DC hasn't. Their movies are kind of their movies aren't really that aren't as good. So yeah, I'm mostly a Marvel guy. Yeah, but
Okay.
I have more DC comics, but I watch more Marvel movies and TV
Right.
shows.
Right. Like, because right now, like DC's doing kind of this absolute universe. I know people really
Mhm.
love the absolute Batman. I mean, I don't know. Like, have you been keeping up with the absolute universe? Like,
I have not. No,
okay,
I have
okay.
not.
Hey,
Like I
no
say,
worries, no worries.
well, Craig told me about some he's about it a little bit ago, but I haven't really been keeping up with it. No,
Okay, okay. Hey, no problem. I mean, I figured I was
my
like,
my my. I haven't like read comics because just comics. There's so many like if you want to read like a whole full arc of a comic, you got about like 25 comics. So I haven't really kept up on my comic book like I used to. But like yeah, I
oh,
do. I mean, I watch the shows and the movies, but like as far as the comics, I like if it's anything like later than like 2010 or 2012 or 2016, I haven't really seen. It. I haven't read it. It's just
fair
because
enough.
it's so much stuff out there. It's just so much. I mean, it gets
There
me
is
booty
so
like
much
every week.
stuff out there. I agree. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's so much stuff out there. Like it's like like if I want to get into comics, where do I begin? There's like no
Exactly.
there's not really a like I mean, that's why it's kind of like different when you look at manga versus like comics. It's like, characters like Batman or Superman. They've been around since like the 1930s. They're getting close to being 100 years old. And
Hmm.
it's like where do you even start? And usually like you have to tell people it's like, well, it depends on what kind of era of Batman you want to get into.
Hmm.
Do you want to get into like, the Frank Miller type Batman, or do you want to get
Hmm.
into
Yeah.
like, and if you're getting into Frank Miller, okay, well, it depends. Like, do you want to start with like Batman Year
Yeah.
One, or do you want to start with the Dark Knight
Yeah.
Returns? Like,
That's why it's so hard to. That's why like when people complain about like movies, I'm like, well, you can't complain about how the movies are because movies aren't made for us. It's made for casuals.
yeah,
With like Easter eggs thrown in for like hardcore. But that's why people say, well, this is how the comics are. Well, who cares? The comics change so much. Like people's stories will change the comics so much that like the movies are supposed to be for a casual audience. Because maybe the movie would draw you to the comics.
hmm,
But the comics they get rebooted so much that it's hard to keep up with anything. I
yeah,
remember when the New 52 started. I'm like, okay, that was like 20 years ago. The New 52 it seems like. I remember when they pretty much reset everything. I was like, okay, that's a good starting point. But then there's been like 6 resets since then. So it's hard to keep up with anything.
yeah. It's hard to believe that like Dark Knight, like, well, Batman Begins is already 20 years old, and then Dark Knight, like in the next
Yeah,
few years, it's gonna be 20. Like, I remember when
crazy.
those came out, and like all the
So
all
do
the
I.
viral stuff, like they were trying to
Hmm.
do the guerrilla
Yeah,
campaigns. Dang, what a
yeah,
time to
that's
be
crazy.
alive!
Yeah.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. Like they had all these decoy websites, and like you could go in and like it's like why so serious, and then
Mhm.
Harvey Dent and everything. Wow, that brings nostalgia. And then that was like when the MCU all started with Iron Man, and Marvel was
Mhm.
kind of building the airplane as it was flying. But Iron
Yep.
Man was such a really good movie that they were just like, all right, let's start up Incredible Hulk, Captain America,
Mhm.
Thor, and then before you know it, it's Avengers.
And
So
then now look where we're at. Yeah.
yeah,
Like people keep saying, after Endgame, Marvel sucks. It doesn't suck. They just focus more on character development now.
yeah,
It's not like big action. It's not like big blockbuster action piece. But like
yeah,
it's now it's like we have the TV shows that's like oh now we have more character. We have more depth to characters. Because at first like I mean because if you go from like the first like Captain America movie to like Endgame, I mean what was really his character development? I mean like he's more vulnerable I guess, but I mean, we have TV shows now that show like they're just more than heroes. They're actually like people behind there,
hmm,
like the Hawkeye TV show. If we never got that show, we would never like know how Hawkeye is. We just see him from the movies.
yeah,
That's people complain about like oh Marvel's like what after Endgame. Endgame was like 12, 13 years of like build up.
yeah,
So of course it's gonna be like no, it's gonna be that. But like people say, oh, superhero fatigue. That's not a real thing superhero because if a movie's good, you're gonna enjoy it. It doesn't matter if it's superhero or whatever. But Because people say, "Oh, superhero fatigue is a real thing." It's not. That's not a thing at all. Because like, look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been selling, made billions of dollars because Spider-Man's good movies.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. It's like right now with the boys, people say the boys or whatever. Like the last season of it, that's like people say, well, it's not the same. It is. It's still good TV. It's just instead of it being like a super. Like they say like a lot of filler episodes. It's character development. Like you can't just have action sequences every single episode. You gotta build up some characters. It's like because you gotta meet. It's just like wrestling. If wrestling's all high spots, it's whatever. But like you gotta have some character development, some story, psychology. It's like I like how everything goes back to wrestling. It's like that's how it is.
Yeah.
Everything goes back to wrestling, psychology. Like
Because at the end of the day, everything's all storytelling. Like it's storytelling.
It's the greatest form of entertainment.
Yeah,
greatest form of entertainment there is.
Yeah, like, and I think that's why, like, you know, big wrestling fans or even wrestlers themselves, they get into comic books and movies because they're trying to find ways to tell stories, and because like as you know, as people, we're drawn to good stories. We're drawn to the underdog. We're drawn to, you know, the big bad villain that gets his comeuppance. You know, we want the happy endings, but we want the happy endings to be earned. Yeah, that's what I really like about. So out of all of the recent stuff for like the MCU and whatnot, because you talked about character development, what's been some of your favorite shows as of late?
I mean, I enjoyed Daredevil. Okay. Like Daredevil was very, very good. I enjoyed that a lot. I haven't seen the Punisher thing yet. Okay. I haven't watched Wonder Man yet either. Because yeah, I enjoyed Daredevil a lot.
Yeah.
Like even like the show like Ironheart. I thought Ironheart was very good.
Okay.
Even though it didn't really get as much publicity as it should have, I thought it was a pretty good show.
Sure.
I mean, obviously WandaVision was another good one, but that was a while ago. But like, yeah, Ironheart was good. I enjoyed like Daredevil. There's been a lot of good stuff out there. It's just like people like Secret Invasion was kind of but I think people like expect shows. I think people have like expectations in their head about things, and when it doesn't turn out the way they want it to, they kind of complain about it. But that's just how life is.
Right.
That's what the internet does. The internet goes like, hey, I booked this a certain way, but it didn't work out that way, so I'm going to complain about it. That's just stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah. So like I haven't really like read Ironheart, like where like Riri's kind of like almost like kind of a Tony Stark clone kind of, except she can't like, instead of like being like out of a cave, like she built an Iron Man army, like an Iron Man armor from her garage, which is kind of neat. So like, I don't know how familiar you are with the comic book character per se, but like, what were some things that you liked out of Ironheart? Like, I know I'm like kind of picking on Ironheart a little bit, but is it kind of like a Tony Stark origin story, but without her getting like captured by terrorists and having to build a like missile from a cave or something? Or
I mean, well, like Tony Stark he was a rich playboy that, you know, that got kidnapped but she was like a smart girl. She was a smart girl, smart black girl from the inner city who didn't get opportunity because, you know, she's from the inner city. And she's too smart for the places she's at. So she's like, that's why like the whole thing was about, like she talked about in the show where like Tony Stark had everything pretty much handed to him and she had to work for everything. And so that's kind of what I like about it. Cause like she's just as smart as he is or whatever, almost as smart as him, but she didn't have the opportunity. So she kind of had to work harder than he did. Yeah. That's I mean, especially being black too. Like I understand that struggle where like you got to work twice as hard to get half as much. Yeah. So that's kind of how her story is. Like I love that. Yeah. Because that's the story of a lot of African Americans in this country. Yeah. You got to work twice as hard to get half as much. And like I say, Tony Stark was like he's a billionaire playboy who takes things for granted, and she doesn't have anything. And she savors everything she can get.
And I think what I like about the Marvel universe, you know, compared to like kind of our real world, is like that technology is available, and if you know where to find it, or if you like the materials are out there for Riri to like be able to build something like the Ironheart armor, which is I think is kind of interesting too. So. Yeah, like
that's kind of one thing. That's kind of what I think I prefer for Marvel over DC, because Marvel is more grounded. DC's just like, I mean, they're all literal gods, so they're pretending to be human. And MCU's like they're humans that just do godlike things. Because like you see movies like, I mean, obviously people stuff like WandaVision, it's like magic and everything, but
mm-hmm.
like even like say Ironheart, it's like it's basically it's like that stuff can happen in real life. Like you're not gonna find a portal to another world like you do in DC. That's not gonna happen in real life. It's just not gonna happen that way. I think that's kind of why I like Marvel War, because Marvel's more kind of more grounded in reality instead of, you know, like all this bombastic, like, oh, we have a dude from another planet who's strengthened by Earth. His only weakness is parts of his planet, his home planet. That's kind of, I mean, obviously the comics are unrealistic, but it's just crazy that, like, you know, Marvel's more based in reality with a bunch of humans that want to be gods, and then DC has like a bunch of gods who want to pass as humans, which is kind of a thing.
And I think that's what, like, they kind of realize where they're at as far as, like, you know, DC like has like a pantheon, and they're, you know, like you were saying, there are gods they're trying to pass off as people, where, you know, in Marvel, they're regular people. They have flaws. They have, you know, they have like their strong attributes, but they also have their flaws that are trying to be, you know, more than just human. They're trying to be heroes. So like, one of the big shows that are that's kind of big, like that just got done, was Invincible. So, I mean, have you been catching up on Invincible?
Oh yeah. I've seen all of it. Yeah, I've seen it all.
Okay. Alrighty. So like, what's your thoughts on like, I don't know, like I haven't really read the comics. I want to pick up the comics and see like what the differences in the updates are from the comics to as compared to the show. But I mean, what's your favorite parts of Invincible? Like,
I haven't read the comics. I haven't read the comics either. But from what I've been told, they kept pretty close to how the comics are.
Right.
I don't know how Invincible survived half of the stuff that he survived. Like, I don't want to spoil, but like when he's fighting Conquest and, like, you know, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
How do you survive that? Like, I know the show's called Invincible, but like, he's gotten beat more than he's gotten beat up more than he's like won anything. I feel like.
Yeah.
The fact that, I mean, he has the strongest plot armor that I've seen. Like, you get eviscerated and like you survive. I don't. Yeah.
Well,
I really enjoyed the show though. I just hate that there's too much of a break between seasons.
Yeah.
It's like, unless I watch like the previous season before the next season starts, I kind of forget like some of the story arcs they have going on.
Right. So it's almost like kind of like, oh, I need to get caught up real quick.
Yeah.
As far as, like I agree. It's like Invincible is like not that invincible, but he's almost like, okay, he's almost like a Saiyan from like Dragon Ball Z, where he just gets the snot beat out of him, but somehow he comes back a little stronger. Like, and
the funny part is like he's not even like he's like half Viltrumite. So like, how is he so powerful? He's more powerful than some of the other Viltrumites are. Like, how? I don't get that.
Well, I don't get that either.
These dudes are killing people left and right.
Yeah, I don't get that either, because everything. Like, I mean, like, okay, like in Dragon Ball Z, I'm just making a quick comparison. Like they, like the Saiyans, like, you know, Goku and Vegeta, they're essentially like, hey, we just want to fight. And, you know, because Goku and Vegeta are so, they're you know, they're so into what they're doing. They're so passionate that they almost get stronger by proxy, where, as compared to like Gohan and Trunks, where, they're half Saiyan, they're half human, but like all the other characters, like, oh man, like, but they're the strongest characters because like they have this human element to them. I mean, I think that's an interesting perspective, but I'm like, still, like, the problem is like, you know, whenever they try to lean into being more Saiyans than humans, like that kind of ends up biting them, where, you know, the story kind of rewards Goku and Vegeta, where I feel like with Invincible, they reward Mark for being like, oh, well, you know, hey, you're a Viltrumite, but also like you're human.
Yeah.
So that makes you better.
I'm not my father. Like, I'm not Nolan. I'm not my father. Yeah. They do that out. Yeah.
They do.
Because they want to remind us that he's half human. It's like he's not complete Joker Mike. Even though like Nolan's kind of finding his he found his humanity in the like second season, like the last season.
Yeah.
He found his humanity. So like it's like the whole season was like Mark trying to not to turn into his dad. That's kind of what it was.
Right.
Which I mean I like that. But I feel like sometimes in TV shows every character doesn't need a redemption arc. Like someone's evil, let them be evil. Like you don't have to. Everyone doesn't need a redemption arc. Like I feel like too many shows try to have like a moral gray area, like oh this is or whatever. Mm-hmm. Let people be evil just to be evil, like just like wrestling, like wrestling again. If someone's a heel, let them be a heel. You don't gotta like oh he made somebody sad, don't apologize. No, let people be heels. Let them be an asshole. Like we need like because they're assholes in real life. We see it on Twitter all the time. Let a wrestler be a heel. Like let them be mean and evil. Like they don't need a redemption arc.
Yeah.
I want to see people be evil just to be evil. Like you don't have to be like, oh, well, I'm evil because of this. No, let somebody just be an asshole for no reason. Yeah. Just because they woke up and they chose like they chose violence. Like Joker. Joker had no redeeming qualities at all.
No.
And he was a great villain because of that. Like he had no redeeming. He just wanted to see the world burn. Like we need more villains like that. We don't because even Thanos was like people are like, oh, Thanos is right. It's like, well, he kind of was, but it's like well, Thanos is badass. He's cool. Like no, we don't want to see. I don't want to see a cool bag. I want to see someone with no redeeming qualities at all. And like you don't really get to see that anymore because I feel like most TV shows are like, well, this person he's morally gray. Like it's like even Killmonger from Black Panther is like, okay, well, the stuff he said was correct. Yeah. It's just the way he went about doing it. Because there are people who say, oh, Killmonger was right. Wow. So I want to see a villain just be bad, just to be bad.
Sure.
Just kill people for no reason.
Yeah.
But they always got to have redeeming quality, redemption arc. I don't like having a redemption arc. It's just let them be evil. Like Darth Vader should have never had a redemption arc.
Yeah.
Never.
No. Darth Vader deserves to be evil. He's better when he's bad.
He killed all those younglings. Let him. He killed all those. Like he pretty much eradicated the whole entire race. Like let him be evil. You don't need to redeem. Like don't forget. Don't let him be good just to be right before he dies so he can go to the. No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Let him be evil.
I get that.
So you kill all those people.
I get that. Yeah.
But
But yeah, that makes me think of Homelander from The Boys. Like, yeah, he's irredeemable in some aspects, but like then they're like, oh, well, it's because he doesn't have a mom and he wants his milk, and it's like, but just let him be a total jerk. Just let him be a jerk.
Yeah.
See,
I feel like Homelander, because I know we live in a world where people like bad guys. I get that, but like. I feel like Homelander has no redeeming qualities at all. Like he's just an asshole. Like and I feel like, but I feel like because Anthony Starr is such a good actor, that like he's so charming that it's hard to hate. It's kind of hard to hate Homelander, even though Homelander like does stuff. It's like, oh man, it sucks. But like we like Anthony Starr so much. Like Anthony Starr does such a good job in that role that it's like I cannot cheer for this dude. No. Even though Homelander's a piece of shit. Excuse me, I don't know if you can cuss here now, but
yep, you're all right.
Homelander's terrible, but like because Anthony Starr's so good, it's like, oh man, this is such a good villain that you kind of want to like, he's just so great in that role. But it's like, man, like Homelander's such he should not be. he has nothing good about him at all.
Yeah.
But like I said, because Anthony Starr plays that role, it's like, oh man, this dude's like he's so lovable. Oh. Especially like when you see like behind the scenes stuff, it's like, oh, behind the scenes this dude is great. Mm-hmm. But it's like, man, like Homelander's like such an asshole. Like I want somebody to take him out right now. Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, like
I haven't seen the finale yet, so I hope they don't have a redemption arc. I would be so mad about that.
Oh, I'd be so mad too. Yeah, I'd be so mad. Well, and it got to the point where like Billy Butcher kind of got to. It's like to try to get at Homelander, like he's losing kind of more of himself. That's kind of what I've understood. It's like. He's not so much of a good guy. It's more like a necessary evil to take down like a larger evil in Homelander. That's kind of how I feel about that.
He's willing to go scorch earth just to kill Homelander. He wants to get rid of all his suits, even though he's kind of a super himself. He's like, I'll kill myself and all these other suits just to get rid of Homelander. I mean, that's so it's kind of like he's kind of a bad guy, but he's kind of being bad for the right reasons, even though he's still being bad.
Right.
That's why this past, I don't know if you've seen like the most recent season or not, but they kind of gave him he's taking care of a dog. So it's like, well, this dog is like showing so much humanity, whatever humanity he has left. He's taking care of the dog. That kind of shows, okay, He's not completely off the rails. He still takes care of his dog, so he has to be manly left.
Okay.
That's kind of what they're doing with that. It's like he's willing to kill like Starlight and all. He's willing to kill all of them just to get that Homelander. It's like these people are helping you complete your goal. You don't care if they live or die. It's like, well, you're taking care of this dog, so maybe you're not such a bad person.
Right.
Like, because he was willing to sacrifice his son because his son's just super. Like, I'll sacrifice my kid and have him go after Homelander and try to get himself killed just if it means I can get rid of Homelander. Like dude, that's terrible. But he wants he wants to complete his goal no matter what. He doesn't care who he hurts. But that's like, when we give him this dog though. He takes care of this dog and he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that's how they do it now.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like a lot of shows kind of do that. They give you like or they'll have like a trope where it's like, hey, this like even like Killmonger did, where like, oh, okay, he has this woman, you killed a woman, and like all of a sudden, oh no, he's a terrible person now. Like, because like the Black Panther, the first Black Panther movie, like he shot her for no reason, just because they want to let people know how evil he was. Like the stuff he was doing was like, okay, you want to try to steal these artifacts back? Okay, that's cool. Black people, hey, we like that. But now you shot a chick. Okay, well now we don't like that. So now you're evil.
Yeah.
A lot of movies have those kind of tropes where it's like, oh, you gotta kill like an innocent person just to like prove your point. It's like, oh, okay, now you're the evil person now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Yeah, it's like you were bringing up. It's like that morally gray. It's like, oh well, yeah, hey, we want the artifact, but yeah, sorry, you're gonna have to be off.
Yeah. A lot of movies have kind of that trope where like you gotta kill like an unsuspected person just because well, they let you know that this person is evil.
Yeah.
Like you just got some guy like shooting, killing random people just like, oh, we'll let you know this person's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, yeah, it happens. It's just, it's just, that's kind of like a Hollywood trope where they kind of do that, where like they kill like you want to show how evil this person is, so we're gonna have them kill some innocent people.
Yeah.
It happens. I get it.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, hey, we just want more layers of this character, and
that's why we're supposed to have filler episodes. That's what that is. It's like it's building more character development. Like, without those scenes with like Butcher and like whatever, all this other stuff. But if we didn't know about it, like whatever, like Homelander did to his girlfriend or whatever, his wife, we probably like, oh, Butcher is kind of a whatever. But we get why he does. We get why he does what he does because Homelander did what he did. We get why Butcher is that way. So people complain about filler episodes. Like that's what those episodes are for. It's for you to get like, because you got to care about this person. In order to like see what his goals are. What's his motivation? If you just go, okay, well, he doesn't like Homelander. Okay, but why is that? Why doesn't he like Homelander? Like I said, it all comes back to wrestling.
Yep.
Why you can do all these moves? Like, well, why are you doing this move? Like, what is that move? What is your character like? Why would your character do this?
Yeah.
It's just, that's just pretty much like that's what I'm saying. Wrestling's the best form of entertainment because it encompasses everything.
Yeah, it does. So I'm gonna go back to wrestling a little bit. Everybody's got their favorite stories to tell. Everybody's got their greatest hits. So, like, what are some of your favorite stories from your time in wrestling?
I don't have like any really big stories, but like there was like so I had it was a tag title match. It was me and Kuko because when I turned here, my partner was Grizz, but Grizz kind of became MIA. So Kuko became my tag partner for a night. And we wrestled Superfly and Sentai for the tag team championship. So I was like, I'm such a good tag team champion. I'm such a good tag wrestler. I can literally take anybody from the locker room and make them a champion. Yeah. Because I was like, being whatever cocky heel. I was like, I can make anybody a champion. Whoever wants to come out and be a champion, and I just come on out. But Kuko comes out. So the whole match, I'm like, okay, like, no, I don't need you out here. I can do it myself. So towards the end of the match, he leaves me by myself. So then, like, so the card said that I was supposed to retain my titles. But everyone knew that except for Sentai. So they were supposed to win the belts, but the sheet said that I was gonna retain. But everyone knew they were gonna win except for Sentai. So during the match, towards the end of the match, like he had this finish and he covered me. He's like, but I didn't kick out because he thought I was supposed to kick out, but I didn't kick out. He's like, oh man, he thought he screwed up. He's like freaking out, like, oh man. I was like, he's like, oh man, I messed up. I'm like, no, bro, you're good. So we got to the back. And Mark's like, oh man. He's like, what did you do? You screwed up. So Mark started giving him shit. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, oh, I'm just joking. I'm just playing. So then he's like, oh, you guys scared the shit out of me, like, because he thought he screwed up, but in reality, they were supposed to win. We just didn't tell him that because we wanted to see his genuine reaction.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah,
funny.
that's probably one of my favorite moments. It's like he legit thought he screwed. Like, oh man, I screwed up. I was like, it's my fault for not kicking out. But I kind of, I couldn't play along for very long because I was like, it's just because I'm so happy for you that I couldn't keep the rip going. I was like, good job, like, congratulations. Yeah, it was funny because like the whole night he's like, oh man, I screwed up. I was like, no, here we go. You were supposed to win. Because it was a title change, so he thought he was like screw up title change.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, that's good. You're because like the whole night he was like, oh man, I screwed up. I thought you guys supposed to win. Who couldn't break it up? Like that sucked. It was funny. Yeah, it was great. And so kind of the same thing happened to Mark when he won the heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
So the same night I won the pure title, Mark was like he was in so he won a battle royal to fight for the title. Mm-hmm. So during the main event, like so something happened, some stuff happened. He covered somebody and they did kick out. And Mark was like, his face was like, oh my god, he thought he screwed up, but like nope. They're like, congratulations, brother. And he's like, oh, you guys suck. He didn't know he was going to win the title. But they kind of decided last second he's going to win the title. I always joke that like he couldn't let me have my night. He had to one up me the night I won my first singles title. He had to one up me by one of the heavyweight titles. So like, I always give him crap about that.
Oh, that's funny.
he couldn't let me have my moment by myself.
Why are you yanking my chain? This is supposed to be my moment.
That's what I love about wrestling. Those moments like that, where stuff like that. Because like, I'm a kind of guy. I don't have an ego when it comes to wrestling. Because like, it's like no one's ever actually beat. No one's beating anybody. We're all whatever. It is what it is. But like I love those kind of moments where like you can just have fun with your friends and just go out there and just do whatever. Just have like so it was funny. So during those early APW shows. I don't know if you remember Devin Thomas.
Yeah, I remember Devin Thomas. Yep.
So every time we'd be in a battle royal together, like he like punched me, I'm concussed, like fall to the ground. He just stopped and start laughing. He just started dying laughing. Like you're in the middle of a match. I was just like I used to always try to see if I could get him to laugh. Even like when Brett Hadley was refereeing, like every time he was my ref, I just try to screw with him every chance I got. See if I can get him to laugh. It's just stuff like that. Just makes wrestling more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Instead of we take it too serious.
It does. Yeah. It's always fun when you can like just do like little things that could just make you like chuckle a little bit. And maybe like they try to hang on to their character as best as they can, but
there's always stories about like people trying to get Undertaker to break. He never breaks. I was like, I don't know how he never broke. Cause like you got to be like very, very good at your character, like not to break when people trying to get you to break. Like that's one thing about being like a heel. You can be an idiot. It can be like you're a heel because heels aren't supposed to be dumb. They're supposed to be stupid. Like if you fall for this, because you're a heel. Even though it's weird because wrestling babyfaces are kind of stupid because the referee, this person comes and distracted, you get distracted easily and whatever. But like in wrestling, heels are supposed to be dumb. Like you can make mistakes as a heel because you're a heel. You should make mistakes. That's why it's funny. So like when I was a heel, I was only a heel for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But like I can yell out moves that like, hey, do this move. Like it's like I'm even though calling the spot. No, people just think I'm being a jerk. Like I'm just hey, do that thing, do that move to him. I can literally call the spot whatever the next spot is, but no, people think I'm just like just directing traffic because I'm a heel. Yeah. They don't know that I'm really just calling the spot. Like it's funny. So it's crazy because like so I moved back to Chicago in 2014, mm-hmm. And when I came back, I became a completely different wrestler because when I was so like one of my first weekends in Chicago, I looked up like what wrestling companies they had out there, and there was a company called JPW. Now it's called Wrestling League. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, they have a block party. They're a wrestling company. Like, I don't know anybody here. I'm going to go introduce myself. So my mom dropped me off. I had my gear. I said, hey, my name is John. I just moved there from Iowa. Like, I've been wrestling for such and such. I stay here. Mm-hmm. But then I helped him set up, and I went to talk to the guys. And the promoter, he's like, hey, John, let me talk to you for a second. He came to he's like, hey, I watched some of your stuff. I think you're pretty good. I'm gonna put you against one of my guys, my guy Ruben. I had no idea this guy was like 14 years old at the time.
Really?
When I wrestled. So he was like, still pretty green. It's like, okay, so we went out there. I put a match together. We did the match. I took care of him. He's like, you took care of my guy. We're gonna use you a lot from now on. So then they put us out to use me like every month, and then so that booking led to bookings in Indiana, bookings in Wisconsin. Like I was wrestling in other places because I took care of people. As I say, like 3XW trained me for a lot and then like so when I moved back, Like, so it's because of the answer, because of that, because like I was getting booked everywhere. I feel like I had kind of became like a quote unquote ring general.
Sure.
Like I started to get more confident. I started like, because like first I was just like, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Then I finally I was like, okay, like let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Because I started like getting more input into matches. I was like, well, if I can go to a completely different city where nobody knows me, I can impress them. I should better go back home and like become like put my matches together. So when I came back, I became more confident. I was like, okay, I think this will work here. I think this will work there, and then I think my matches started getting a lot better. Even our tag stuff, like Mark and I tag stuff got a lot better too because I became more confident. I'm like, okay, this will work here, this will work there. Mark's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. Even today, it's like I give a lot of input. Like, okay, let's. I think this work here, this work here, this work here. Like, because it's never me like. It's never me like saying, okay, you take this bump, take this bump, take this bump. It's like, okay, how can we get this to work here? I'll never call someone's bumps for them. Like if you want to take a bump, that's on you. I'm not going to tell you what bump to take.
Yeah.
I'll call my own bumps. Like I'll do this bump, I'll do this bump. I mean, I'll probably take some dumb bumps over the years because of that, because I want to make my opponent look good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's like when I came back from Chicago in 2015, I became way more confident in my abilities as a wrestler because like I feel like I was kind of just going with the flow, whatever. This I'm booked here. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do that. Mm-hmm. But like I say, once I came back, I was like, okay, I belong here. I feel like I belong. I feel like I'm not just like a good hand. I feel like I can be a main eventer at this place. And when I came back, like Mark, even like tax up, whatever, we were on a lot of shows. That was stupid. We were in a lot of shows like as a main event. Like even when Magnum, when Con and I were together, we were like for a whole year we were champions. We were over like crazy. It was every time our music hit, the crowd would just like go crazy. Yeah, it was. I miss stuff like that.
That's cool. So like it's just from that confidence and just like you were saying, like the only way you could really get better is just keep wrestling in front of like live crowds and everything.
And keep wrestling new people too. It's like if you wrestle the same person all the time, the same people all the time, like trainees that wrestle other trainees, you're never gonna get better. You have to wrestle other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. Like sometimes like like I think it's great. Like hey, like you need a little variety, so that's why like I think it's good for like guys to travel around quite a bit, and then the older like. It's kind of in journalism too. Like you want to travel around when you're young so you can get a taste of like other locales, other places. And then you're able to like, it helps round out your body of work. And then once you get older, then you want to go to like a small town where it's a little bit slower. I'm not calling Des Moines a small town by any means. But
it is,
yeah. But compared to like Chicago and St. Louis and but it's but then it's like okay, well this is the small town, like I've built up my rep, I can come back and I basically I put all this stuff all together, but I kind of equated journalism to that, like to wrestling where. I get to tell stories, but instead of like falling over a lot, I just put, I just type away at a computer and, I somehow put stuff together and then I use what other people give me to put into my work. And I mean, that's why pro wrestling, I feel like is so beneficial. Like even if you never do, like you only wrestle like one match or you never wrestle a match, like to just train, I feel like that gives a different perspective, like, because it's not so much, oh, like, hey, like I want to interact with different people. Like, well, you're going to interact with different people anyways if you want to get better. However, it teaches you how to tell a story, how to get from point A to point B.
It does. Like the word psychology gets thrown around in wrestling a lot because that's big. Like I said, you can teach anybody to move, but you can't teach everybody like psychology. Psychology is something that you either have or you don't.
Right.
Like, I mean, because that applies to pretty much anything. Like it's like I say, it's all about the why, not it's all about like why are you doing this, why do you do that? Because like I say, a lot of wrestlers can do 450s, shooting star, all that stuff. Like I tell people all the time, I can do most of that stuff, but it's like, well, me being as big as I am, why would I need to?
Yeah.
Like, because if I do a 450 on someone or shooting star press and they kick out, I'm 320 pounds. Like that looks stupid on my part. So like, why would I do that? Or it doesn't make sense for me to do that. But like, I'm not like because a lot of people say if you can do something, then do it. I always say like just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Mm-hmm.
Like say I don't know if you ever, I mean, I'm sure you've seen me wrestle before. Like so when I wrestle, like especially when I wrestle with Mark, because Mark's bigger and stronger than me.
Yeah.
I'm the small, quote unquote small guy, even though I'm 300. I'm the small guy. So I wrestle like a smaller guy. Even if our opponents are smaller than us, which they normally are, I still wrestle like a smaller guy because Mark's the bigger guy. And Mark and I both wrestle like a big guy, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I wrestle like I'm the smaller guy because in that match in that tag team I am. So but if I'm wrestling a singles match and I wrestle somebody that's which is usually somebody smaller than me, I do the power stuff. But with Mark, I do more like flip. I do more agility stuff when I'm with Mark because I'm the flyer now.
Yeah.
But if I'm wrestling a singles match with somebody, I'm always the base. I'm always a big guy. I do big guy stuff because, I mean, I'll occasionally throw in like some agility, but I usually do like more power stuff because my opponent's smaller than me.
Yeah.
And also as I got older, I've learned you can't bump for everybody. I mean, I want to bump for you, but you got to work for it. Like it's not like I used to do like wrestle somebody 100 pounds. They close them and I do a black flip out of a clothesline from a guy that's 150 pounds. That should never happen.
No.
And people tell me that, but I'm like, oh, I want to make them look good. But that also makes me look bad when I do that for everybody. So now what I do is like, so even when I wrestle, I put the match together. Okay, this is my cutoff. My cutoff is always like me. I'll miss this or something big has to happen for you to get me to the ground. Because my philosophy is this: if I'm bigger than you and we're both standing up straight, I have the advantage because I'm bigger and stronger than you. That's why if you see me wrestle, I don't tie up with very many people. Mm-hmm. If you're a small guy and we lock up, I should have the advantage all the time,
right? Because
I'm bigger. I'm bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
So like if you're 100 pounds and you lock up with me, then I should be able to grab you and talk to you somewhere. Mm-hmm. That's why I go even like when I was a heel or whatever. Well, mostly babyface. As a babyface, it's a babyface. I'm a big guy. I still want to talk because that's part of wrestling. I'm a babyface. I want to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. But as a heel, if I'm going to tie up with you, I'm not going to do it because. If I tie up with you as a babyface and you're smaller than me and you get the advantage, then that makes me look stupid. But even like I say, heels are dumb, but like that just doesn't make sense at all. Logically, it doesn't make sense. So if I'm going to tie up with you, I should be able to like you don't see Mark Henry's not going to tie up with somebody that's 100 pounds. He's not going to like lock up with somebody that's he'll crush him. So I kind of take the same philosophy of like. And I know wrestling is predetermined and whatever, it's all scripted, whatever, predetermined.
Yeah.
But there has to still be some kind of logic to it at all. But there has to be some kind of logic, though. Like you won't see Rey Mysterio body slamming a Big Show. It's just not gonna happen.
No.
So it has to make sense. You can't like say because it's like say if I'm a 300-pound dude, I'm like flying around everywhere, like doing all something. You keep kicking out. I look weak.
Yeah.
And like you're like the strongest person in the world. So that's what I say. Like that, if I wrestle a big guy, I'll do dives. But if I'm wrestling a small guy, me doing a dive doesn't make sense.
Right.
Now, also one thing I hate about in wrestling, where it's like a little nitpick thing, like whenever like someone's on the top rope and the guy's just staring at him the whole time. If you don't catch him, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You just looking still staring at him while he's gonna jump off. Like just catch him.
Yeah.
I always hear when the guy just standing looking like finishing like Mortal Kombat, just standing there. The guy just dives on you. No, wrestlers would be terrible firefighters. Like somebody jump off a building, like we'll catch you, and they all just like fall. They all fall.
Yeah.
If there's 5 guys at the ring, and the guy jumps over on top of everybody, they all fall down. I don't like that. Yeah. I've never been a big fan of that.
Right.
Like scramble match, a guy does a dive onto a group of 5 people, and they all fall down.
Oh,
catch him.
Yeah.
This guy's 120 pounds. Just catch him and throw him somewhere. But yeah, it's wrestling. You kind of gotta like shut your brain off a little bit to whatever. But that's kind of what like when I watch wrestling on TV, I just watch. I don't try to break things down. I kind of just watch it.
Yeah. Because
if you try to make sense of stuff you see on TV, like that doesn't make sense. You won't enjoy it. That's why I just watch. I watch what's presented to me. I don't try to predict. I don't try to like fantasy book. I watch what's presented to me. I like, hey, this happened, this happened. Okay, I'll go with it. And then but if it like, cause some people go, oh, that was dumb. I go, well, I mean, it happened, so
Yeah,
nothing I can do about it.
According to them, it made sense.
I just yeah. I just think too many people like they like the fantasy book stuff in their head, and when it doesn't turn out the way they wanted to, they kind of get upset.
Right?
Like, how you upset? Like no one ever said it was going to turn out this way. You just thought it was, so now you're upset because it did. I don't understand that. I watch what's presented to me. If I don't like it, then whatever. Nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can choose not to watch, but I mean, I gotta watch wrestling, and I love it.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown for a while, but I still watch highlights.
Right.
I got rid of my Netflix. I wasn't gonna keep paying for Netflix just to watch wrestling. So I got rid of it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I kind of fell out with like the WWE because I don't have Netflix or like I don't even really watch AEW. Like if I catch some wrestling, it's gonna be on YouTube. Like where we're at right now. But I do have to ask, did you dig when Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
Oh, I loved it. I've always been a Brock Lesnar. I've been a Brock Lesnar fan since before he debuted. So yeah. I've been a fan for Brock Lesnar. I mean, I do the F5. So obviously, I've been doing F5 since my backyard days. So that was 2002. Yep. So he debuted 2002 after Mania. It's like that. That's 2004 after Mania. But yeah, I've been a Brock Lesnar fan forever. But like Obafemi's like I say, I don't try to predict, but like I kind of had a feeling that Oba would win. I was like, because it made sense to me. Mm-hmm. But I was like, it was great because like Lesnar's the unbeatable Brock Lesnar, and then Obafemi just comes out and I loved every second of it. Obviously, because I also love to see black people succeed. So yeah, I always say I'll root for everyone black.
There you go.
Because I am.
Well, I am. But yeah, I just think Oba has such a great look to him. I mean, he moves well. Like he looks like a legitimate monster. But he could be a guy that could be, like a good guy or a bad guy. He could be a baby face or he can be a heel. Easy. You can make him into this unstoppable monster, or you can make him into, this down to earth guy that he played like college football, and he was like, well, he was a shot putter. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He wasn't he was a track athlete. I keep on thinking like he was like a football player. The one thing that's about the people don't talk enough about Oba about, he's a good promo guy too. Like most times you see like big monster heels or monster whatever, they need a mouthpiece. He doesn't need that. Yeah. Like he can go out there like the promo he cut before Mania was great because like he told you what he's gonna do, who he was, and I mean, he went toe to toe with Paul Heyman and held his own. Like most people can't say that. Right. Because people always think if you're a big guy, like you need a manager. He doesn't need that. He can come out there. He can cut a promo himself. He doesn't need a mouthpiece. He can get it done in the ring. He looks great. He has a fantastic look. He got a great entrance. Like he does the strut. Like he's got everyone does the but like I'll be at work. I would randomly do that while I'm at work, just like strutting across the store, like like say he's got all of it. Like now, obviously, it's only as good as your booking. Uh-huh. So we'll see what happens with that. But like, I feel like a lot of people they don't realize that wrestling. I mean, when you watch wrestling on TV, it's not a wrestling show. It's a TV show about wrestling. Yeah. So if you want to watch a wrestling show, go watch the Indies. Because if you watch a TV wrestling, that's not what that is. It's a TV show that features wrestling. It's not a wrestling TV show. So I think a lot of people don't kind of. That's why because the show you watch on Mondays and Fridays and Wednesdays is to try to sell you the pay-per-view, that whatever the pay-per-view is. So when people complain because there's not a lot of wrestling on TV, there isn't. I mean, I agree there are too many ads and everything, but you're watching a TV show that features wrestling. It's just like watching an SVU or something. That's what wrestling, TV wrestling is. And I feel like once people realize that's just kind of. It's been that way for a long time. It's just people don't really realize that's what it is. Like these people they're actors playing a character on a TV show. It's like because it's just the same thing as if you have like people like from the other TV shows that play like Punisher. John Berthold's playing Punisher. That's not really. That's wrestling is the same exact thing. It's just that we have more access to wrestlers than we do other actors and stuff. So yeah. I think people go, well, this character sucks. Well, yeah, it's a character. I mean, there's been plenty of TV shows with bad characters. But why does wrestling get more scrutiny for it when bad writing? There's been shows with a lot of shows with bad writing. Imagine how to write a TV show
for 52 straight weeks with no breaks. That's hard.
That is hard.
I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I know some companies that have a show once a month that can't do very well. So I would never I would never knock someone for having a like 52 weeks show and try to have like a couple bad weeks.
Yeah,
that's hard. Like I said, you're literally writing a weekly TV show. That is, I mean, like what is it? The only thing that like soap operas, the only thing that does that.
Yeah,
and there's been some bad storylines of soap operas too. So like I don't give our wrestling gets more scrutinized than other media because like bad stories, like bad characters. Like I mean, like you can have a character like Roman Reigns. He's a character. That person is playing that person is playing a character of Roman Reigns. It's like just like let's say a wrestler leaves and comes back as a different character. And they're an actor playing a character. I wish people would realize that. It's just like you get mad when like this character sucks. It's a character they're playing. Like they can always change it. I wish wrestling just got more grace like other TV stuff. I don't know why people look at wrestling differently. Like I don't know why they look at it differently. Because it is a TV show. I don't know why people don't realize that. But
right, that's
my little old man stuff.
Old man yelling at clouds. No, that's a great perspective. Yes, I like that perspective. As they say in the wrestling world, I think it's time for us to take it home. We're pretty close to the 2 hour mark. See, I told you.
2 hours.
Yeah. I was like,
hey. I knew it. Like once I start talking, I can talk. But like, yeah.
Yeah. Like you were like, hey, I don't know if we can make 2 hours, and I'm like, dude, you'll be surprised. Like
I said 3 hours. I thought 3 hours was gonna be too long. No, 3 hours is a long time.
Well, I mean, we'll keep it about 2. But what would you like to plug? What would you like for people to check out? What if people were to be interested in you and they want to find out, hey, where to find you? Where would you direct them to?
Outside of my online store, I mean, I really don't have anything to plug right now because I mean, I want to have shows more frequently because I mean, obviously I have a champion that I want to defend with has belt defended.
Yeah.
And like I feel like my brand is only as good. I only really like gets like whatever when I have a show. I wanted to do another show in Chicago, but the place I was going to run at kind of shut down. So Berwyn Eagles Club kind of shut down. So
yeah,
like I said, that's the thing about me trying to do my shows. Like I have to get all the funding myself. I pretty much do all the graphics myself. I do which I don't mind doing that, but I don't like put all that work in if no one's gonna come to the show. So obviously I don't do it for the money. I just do it because I want to give people opportunity. My biggest issue is trying to find where do I want to run. I try and piggyback off of what other promoters are. Like let's say there's somebody in Texas, they have a venue that they use every month. Maybe I can say, you mind if I use your venue for a show or whatever? I'll partner up with you. But like I say, a lot of people don't like to share their secret sauce. Like because if you have success in one area, you don't want to you don't want to bring anybody into the area.
Right.
Even though I look at it well, I'm only here once. Not like I'm coming back, but. But I said besides my blackwrestlingmatter.bigcartel.com. Besides that store.
Okay.
I mean, I have my Maverick merch on there. I have my merch on there. That's really all I have. To plug is that. If there's independent wrestling in your area, check it out. I mean, if you don't like how the wrestling you see on TV, independent wrestling is always there for you. Like because a lot of these guys that are on TV came from the indies. So
yeah,
I will always say support independent wrestling because we need it the most.
Yep.
Because guys on TV, it's speaking of merch and stuff, I always laugh when people they buy all these different shirts when wrestlers come out with. But if your friend has merchandise, why would you not spend that money on them instead of the people that are on TV? The people on TV will never see you with that shirt. Mm-hmm. I know every single person who has one of my shirts, who bought one of my shirts, because every time they buy a shirt, it lets me know who they are. But the people on TV, they don't know that. So if your friend has merchandise, buy it from them instead of buying it from someone on TV. Because I'm pretty sure your friend will appreciate it a lot, especially if you consider them you're a fan of them. Buy their stuff. I mean, I buy my friends' shirts and stuff all the time. I never wear them. I just buy them and put them in my closet. But yeah, always always support your friends and buy your friends merchandise. Because say if you have option A or option B, chances are the shirts are probably made in the same place. It's just you buy this famous person stuff because they're famous. Like buy from your friend. That $25 will help your friend more than help this person making hundreds of thousands of dollars on TV every week. So nice. I always recommend buying from your friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Support your local independent wrestlers. That's probably
100%. Always
100%.
do that. Support your local independent. Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll make I'll ask for the link and I'll put it in the description below.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Let's see. This has been Unfiltered. Gosh, episode 9 of season 2. My goodness, like that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
that's a lot of episodes so far. Next week I'll be back with Mr. Lolcow. We had him on for Crash Out Connoisseurs about a week or so ago. He's a very interesting guy. So tune in for that one. And then I was supposed to have SCP Hangover, so I do like a post show after Squared Circle Pro, but I was unable to make it because I got a softball game. I actually got to cover a softball game. State semifinals, by the way, John. Taking place in Lubbock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
If the team I cover,
it's softball. Is softball pretty big out there? Like, I mean, obviously it's not football, but is softball pretty big?
Softball's got a good following, especially if your team or your school's really good. And the team I'm covering, which is Dumas, who I've actually worked out of Dumas before. Their team is they're basically making a historical run. Like they got a whole bunch of seniors on their team. They're really good. They lead the nation in home runs, so they can go yard quite often. I think they're like one away from like 90. Like they're one away from 100 home runs as a team.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Man.
And if they go to the state championship, it would be the first team from the Texas Panhandle to compete for a Texas state, like for a state championship.
Big moment, yeah, nice.
Yeah, so they won their game earlier tonight, and then they play again on Saturday, and then if they win, they compete for a state title. They're 2 wins away, so they can do it.
I've never been to Texas. I kind of want to. I want to go out there sometimes. I've never been.
Hey, you're more than welcome to crash here. So you always got a place in Amarillo or in Lubbock. Yeah, you betcha. At least I can do for you. I mean,
there's a guy. So before we go, there's a guy in Texas, Justin Taylor. Have you ever heard of him?
Justin Taylor. Yes, he is.
Yeah, I love that guy. He was on my Black Wrestling Matters, my first Chicago show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fantastic wrestler. Like I wish he was in more places.
Yeah.
He's very, very good.
He's very
humble, very very good.
I
just want to give him a shout out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Give him a shout out. I had his best friend Ryan Justice on several weeks ago. And I had Ryan for episode 2, and Ryan and Justin came up together.
Nice.
And Ryan just absolutely praises. Well, of course, Justin's one of his best friends, but unloaded.
He's very good.
He's very good. The living proof is what he's called.
Yeah.
The living proof. Yeah. And then June 7th, I'll bring back Sweeze. Shout out Sumo Dog. Feel free to shout out Sumo Dog real quick, John.
Shout out Sumo Dog. shout out Maverick. Shout out Maverick.
Shout out Maverick. Yeah, Maverick's just chilling. Oh, Maverick.
He's all tired out now.
The show got him all wound up, and now he's tuckered out. And then,
well, I think like after a while he doesn't. If I don't give him enough attention, he just kind of just goes to sleep.
I got you. Okay. But yes, shout out Maverick, shout out Sumo Dog. Make sure to pick up the Here's Maverick t-shirt on John's store. I'll put it in the description below. And then June 14th, I will have one of my mentors in journalism, Lance Leinert. He will be on. That'll be a really good show. Lance has been in the newspaper business for like 40 years. And then now he's in TV and radio. He's still as active as ever. But yeah, really, really fun lineup of shows coming down the pipe. But yeah, John, any other parting words?
I think that's it. It was nice catching up with you. It's been a long time.
It has been. I definitely want to bring you back because we need to talk more comic books and sports. Yeah,
I do. I had fun.
Yeah,
I wasn't cause I wasn't sure I don't do these very often because I talk kind of fast.
Yeah,
when I get excited, so that's why I don't do these very much. But I do have I usually have a lot to say, but I just talk way too fast. I try to get everything out at once.
Oh, that's okay.
So,
hey, we got to make sure.
Probably not good for a listener, but yeah, slow me down a little bit.
Hey, luckily YouTube's got like that 0.75 speed, and I think that would be perfect. Yes, but hey, I love that you were excited to be on here. I definitely want to bring you back. But yeah, I think it's time to sign off for the week. I'll be back next Sunday. Again, Mr. Lolcow will be on. Another 2 hours of just laughs and being excited and getting hyped up. So, all right, that's been season 2, episode 9. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you. And we are going to sign off, like I said, probably for the umpteenth time now. But hey, y'all have a great rest of the weekend. Have a great start to your week. And I'll see y'all soon. Take care.